T-shirt Thursday. T-shirt Thursday. Yes, I have on another T-shirt. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 8 p.m.
All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to me read fun and exciting books. I have to shout out my two neighbors. Yes, I met them today. I told them about Audrey's reading area. Monty and his sister, Precious. Monty and Precious, thank you so much for coming on YouTube right away and watching my videos and then coming back and telling me that you enjoyed watching my videos. So shout out to Monty and Precious. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to shout out my grandbabies, Korea, Sanad, David III, and Kaden. I love you. I missed you guys so much. I prayed I could get to see you guys again real soon. Now, go ahead and click the like button and share this video with everybody and tell everybody about my videos because I am trying to read to you guys and I want everybody to get the opportunity to hear all these fun and exciting books. Oh yeah. All right. Have another fun and exciting book for you today on this T-shirt Thursday. I'm going to read about Otis. This is Otis. That's my Otis. Otis and the Scarecrow. Now, that's going to be my Scarecrow for now. Please don't take offense in any way. That's the closest thing I have to a scarecrow right now. I really did go look for a scarecrow today and I couldn't find one. So this is my scarecrow. So Otis and the Scarecrow. Written by Loren Long. Written and illustrated by Loren Long. Well, all right, you guys. Thank you. Thanks again for being here. Let's jump right into this book, Otis and the Scarecrow. Otis and the Scarecrow. It is okay. Put on my glasses so I can see a little bit better. Well, all right, you guys. It was summer when the Scarecrow first came to the farm where the friendly little tractor named Otis lived. Back when the corn was tall and ripe. That's the Scarecrow. This is what a Scarecrow looks like, you guys. I don't have a Scarecrow yet. Well, I'm going to try to get one. Otis recalled how the crows had scattered at first. They wanted nothing to do with the Scarecrow, which made the farmer very happy. Otis was also happy. A new friend had come to live on the farm. But when Otis went to welcome him, the Scarecrow didn't smile or say hello. He just stood there, a sour look on his face, staring at the cornfield. After a while, Otis left him alone. Wow, Mr. Scarecrow didn't say anything back to him. So Otis left him alone. Let's see what happens. When the farm animals came by to greet the Scarecrow, once again, he didn't smile or say hello. He just stood there, that sour look on his face, staring at the cornfield. The animals didn't know what to think. Who was this new creature? The horse curled his lip at the Scarecrow's musty smell. The ducks pointed at his tattered clothes. The little calf and the puppy were frightened by him. Finally, the bull snarled, huffed, and turned away. And the Scarecrow stood there alone. Stood there alone. Summer passed, and by the crows came back around. They perched, they picked, and pecked at the Scarecrow. They perched and picked and pecked at the Scarecrow. Otis noticed that the Scarecrow didn't shoo them away. He just stood there with that sour look on his face, staring off at the cornfield. Otis puffed. He puffed a soft sigh and turned to catch up with his friends. Wow. That's the Scarecrow. It's not going to come alive and make friends with them. I hope it does. I mean, I'm just saying. Autumn eventually arrived. The days grew shorter and cooler. Harvest time had left the fields bare, except for the plump pumpkins dotting the fields orange. Otis began pulling wagons filled with children eager to pick out a pumpkin to carve into a jack-o'-lantern. The farm looked different, but Otis loved the changing seasons, and he worked and played as hard as ever. Put, puff, putty, puttity, chuff. It was a splendid time on the farm for being together with family and friends. Nice. The cool air drifting through the hills made the animals more rambunctious than ever. A simple game of follow the leader turned into a reckless race over the rolling hills. A game of hide and seek turned into a rowdy rendition of Ring Around the Rosie, the animals playfully circling Otis as he sat counting 1 putt, 2 puff, 3 puttity, 4 chuff. When Otis tuckered out from all the games, he headed up the hill to the apple tree. His frisky friends would join him, and when they were all sitting together, Otis would challenge everyone to a different game. Let's see what's going to happen. The quiet game. The quiet game is a contest in which everyone must stay quiet and still. No sounds, no laughing, no snorting, no cracking or puffing. The player who stays quiet the longest wins. Otis knew the animals loved playing any game, even one that challenged them to sit still. To start the game, he would surge his engine to get everyone's attention, taking a deep breath of air, and let out a long, soft putt, puff, puttity, shh. Otis would sit quietly and look over the farm. There was Mud Pond, full with the autumn rains. There were the plump pumpkins dotting the fields orange. There were the shocks of corn fodder, all in rows. And there, still, was all alone, was the Scarecrow. It was all alone, staring sternly at the empty cornfield. Look at this guy. Wow. The puppy was always the first to lose the quiet game. He just couldn't sit still. The bull would twitch his nose, which made the little calf giggle. This made the bull chuckle with a snort. The bull's snort would amuse the ducks, and their bottoms would wiggle as they held back their giggles. The sight of the ducks' wiggling bottoms would amuse the horse so much that he would roll on the ground, neighing with laughter. At this, the ducks would quack out loud, and soon everyone would be laughing and snorting and quacking and giggling. This always left Otis the winner, a big grin on his face as he sat under the apple tree with his friends. Aw. Aw. One day, a cold rain set in. Otis and the animals ran for cover under the apple tree. They huddled together for warmth as Otis looked over the farm. There was the overflowing mud pond. There were the shiny wet pumpkins and the soaked corn shocks all in a row. And there, swaying back and forth in the cold, The cold wind and rain was, guess who? You got it, the Scarecrow. Otis couldn't take his eyes off of him. He thought about how the Scarecrow must feel. Wow. Look at him. He's thinking about the Scarecrow and how the Scarecrow must feel just being left alone in the field by himself in the rain and the cold. So Otis stood up. He stood up. Uh-oh. What is Otis going to do, you guys? What do you think Otis is going to do? Let's see. He marched down the hill, put, puff, puttity chuff, and crossed into the empty cornfield. Without hesitation, Otis chuffed and puffed straight up to the Scarecrow. That's right. Oh boy, let's see what he's gonna do. Back under the apple tree, the animals watched intently. They were just watching like, what's gonna happen? It's the Scarecrow. That's Otis. Let's see what happens. Otis looked up into the painted eyes of the Scarecrow and smiled. The Scarecrow didn't smile back. He just stared off at the empty cornfield, as always. The two of them stood quietly in that great big field as the wind and rain battered them. Then Otis turned his body around and backed right up alongside the Scarecrow. And with a chuff, he sat down next to him. Oh boy. Look at this. Sat down right next to the Scarecrow. Uh-oh. Suddenly, the little calf and the puppy scampered down the hillside, crossed into the cornfield, and curled up right next to Otis. Gradually, the cow and the horse ambled down the hillside. Before long, the ducks waddled their way down too. Aw. How beautiful. How cool is that? And finally, the big bull sauntered down into the field, joining the others. Otis surged his engine to get everyone's attention, took in a deep breath of air, and let out a long, soft put, puff, puttity, shh. Otis and the animals sat quietly. Look at this. They sat quietly with the Scarecrow. Aw. Aw. Let's see what happens next. Don't you want to know? Until the puppy couldn't sit still another minute. The bull snorted on the calf's ears. The ducks wiggled their bottoms. And soon everyone was giggling, quacking, laughing, and even puffing. Everyone except who, you guys? Everyone except the Scarecrow, of course, who never uttered a sound. Wow. Just wow. Yet as Otis watched, he couldn't be sure, but he thought he might have seen the Scarecrow smile. Either way, Otis thought the Scarecrow didn't look so lonely anymore, surrounded by friends. Aw, how beautiful is this story? Aw, that just, the end of story. And that should tell you a story. That should teach you a little lesson. No matter how somebody is on the outside doesn't mean that they're that way on the inside. The Scarecrow couldn't move because he wasn't alive. Wasn't alive. They drew his face to look like that. And Otis and all his friends was like, he's alone out there. We're going to help him anyway. And they went out there and helped him anyway. stood by him. They couldn't do anything else. They stood by him, and they just became his friends. Although he couldn't respond because he's just a scarecrow, they went out there and they became his friends. And I love that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you all enjoyed this story. Shout out to my mom. Her name is Bev. She's always here and listening. Thank you. All right. And thank you to my cousin Ellie and my friend Victoria, who are always sharing my videos. Why don't you become one of those sharers? Share my video with everybody. Tell everybody about Audrey's reading area. Yes, don't forget, click like, click share. Go to YouTube. Smash that subscribe button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me, you guys. Well, all right. Alexa, what time is Audrey's reading area?
From Boglehead's
No, Alexa, stop. She just doesn't put, she's been participating correctly this whole week. Let's see if we can get her to do it correctly again. Alexa, what time is Audrey's reading area?
Audrey reads in her area live at 8 o'clock p.m.
Live, live at 8, you guys. Let's do it together. Let's do it again together. Live, live at 8. And I will see you tomorrow, live at 8, here at Audrey's reading area. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.